Kofi Abunu is an expert in managing operations, supply chain processes, obtaining franchises, and developing high-performing teams with the quick service restaurant industry. Kofi has over 36 years international experience in the food and hospitality industry, having previously worked with global brands like McDonald's UK, Nando's, and Steers. Over the years, he has operated in several African countries, including Nigeria, South Africa, and Ghana. As the managing director and CEO of Food Concepts PLC, Kofi and the management team has established the brand as a formidable force in the QSR industry, expanding its outlets from 7 in 2007 to 304 establishments across Nigeria and Ghana. Kofi has a diploma in hotel management and a BA honors in international business and marketing. As he continues to steer Food Concepts towards greater heights, Kofi seeks to expand and introduce Food Concepts internationally with signed contracts in Canada and potential franchises in the UK and US. He envisions a legacy built on not only business success, but the empowerment of people.
I mean, first and foremost, you have to be in the right frame of mind to be able to do certain things. So for me, my parents, my wife, my family are first and foremost, always.
Hello, Africa, and you're welcome to another episode of CEO Unscripted on Mr. Jegs Africa. You can see by the smile on my face that I'm very excited having this guest here. Please, with a rousing round of applause, welcome with me my guest, Mr. Kofi Abunu.
Is that it? Can I go?
No, we're just started. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I'm very excited. So, we'll dive right into it.
Okay.
People know the brand Chicken Republic. They don't know Food Concepts. Right. And you've been there how many years now?
Oh God, now you want to show my age. I've been with Food Concepts 17 years.
17 years.
Yeah.
How's that been?
Interesting. I'm a Ghanaian operating in Nigeria, so it's always interesting.
Yeah, you're operating a global business in Nigeria. Hey, anyway. So, you started in Ghana. Your childhood, just to run over it.
No, my childhood started in the UK.
In the UK, okay.
Yeah, so I was born and raised in the UK. My parents decided that I needed some culture, so they packed me off to Ghana. So I did all my boarding school in Ghana, which was an experience. I think I needed therapy after that one. And then I went back to the UK to do my college and university degree, and that's how I ended up in the game. So I really started working in the industry since I was 16. In the UK, you can be doing part-time work whilst you're schooling.
Yeah.
So I started in the industry at the age of 16, where I was working weekends only, going to school Monday to Friday, Saturday, Sunday job, just to earn some pocket money. And I guess I started enjoying it. I left the business for about a year to go and work for a publishing company, but I just found myself back there, sitting in the office, and it was just boring for me. But dealing with people, customers, training, etc., and growing the business was more exciting, and that's why. So from there, I moved back to Ghana back in 1999. And I worked for a hotel chain called La Palm Royal Beach Hotel in Ghana, and from there, then I actually worked with Steers, and Steers is a South African brand. Okay, so I went to work in South Africa. We opened up the business in Ghana as well, and then from there, I was poached, should I say, from Steers to Inscore. Now, Inscore is a Zimbabwe brand, a Zimbabwe business, but they opened up in Ghana. And they operated food courts. So they had a chicken brand, a bakery, children's play area, and so on, with a common seating area, a complex common seating area. So that was basically how I kind of just kept on going and rising up through the game. Then went to Cote d'Ivoire as well to look at the market there. And then somebody came knocking on my door and says, "Come to Nigeria." You know, you hear so many stories about Nigeria. You guys are infamous. Okay, okay. But you know, I came for a visit. I saw the brand, I saw the market, and I said, "Wow, this is going to be exciting." And it didn't take me long. I think within 24 hours, I'd already made up my mind that I wanted to come down and help grow the brand. So when I joined, we were 7 outlets. Okay. In the same year I joined, we opened up 2 outlets in Ajose Adegun, and then Isaac John. And
Isaac John?
Yeah, we had the store in Isaac John at one point.
Okay.
Remember brands like Barcelos,
Yes,
everything used to be on Isaac
yes.
John. So almost across the road from Sweet Sensations where they used to be. Okay, but we lost that site because the landlord wanted to use the property for something else. So that's why we had to shut it down. But yeah, so Isaac John, and then from then just started growing the brand. I think we got some funding in 2008, and it just took off from there. Within getting the funding, I think between June 2008 and December 2008, the same year, within 6 months, we opened about 30 shops. Okay, so it didn't take long from going from 7 shops in 2007 to being by October 2009 being 65 outlets.
That's about 58 stores.
Yeah, over that period, over like a year and a half.
That's ridiculous. Okay.
When you borrowed money, nothing tells you to move fast. You have to pay the money back, so you have to move fast.
Yeah, that's true.
You have to move very, very fast.
Okay, so it was debt financing.
Yes.
Okay. Food industry is not easy to scale. I've seen businesses shut down across Africa, but I've seen Chicken Republic grow from 7 to 304. There must be something you're doing right. Because I've seen other brands shut down. I mean, legacy brands go down, like reduce the number of shops. But I see Chicken Republic growing. What will you say makes you stand out? Like, what strategy? Everybody, okay, so this is my question. This is why I'm asking this question. Everybody going into a championship is going with a strategy to win. So everybody starting a business started with everybody. So you can't just say, "Oh, it's the strategy." You can't say it's the goal.
Yeah.
Everybody's goal was to most people anyway.
Yeah.
So you can't say you still have the same challenges. People you have. So what was different?
So look, every business goes through turbulence as you're growing the business. One will say the first thing is God, and the second thing is luck. Okay. Especially in Nigeria, because you never know what the country is going to throw at you. One day it's, you've got trouble with importation challenges. The next day they've closed the border, and so now we have never ever imported chicken.
Yeah.
We've always used local supply, but when they closed the border, it impacted us because now everybody was buying locally. Okay, so obviously we got affected, and that became a challenge, especially when you're only using one protein. You went like other eateries that had beef and other eateries. So every single time there's one challenge or another. The 2022 was the rise in diesel. 2020 was COVID, and so on. Which, during the COVID time, we were very proud of ourselves because one, we didn't let go of a single staff. 2, we paid full salaries throughout the whole period. And 3, we still opened 40 outlets between the 2 brands of Chicken Republic.
I'm sorry. Please don't lose that train of thought.
Yeah.
I want to dwell on the first one.
Yeah.
You didn't let go of a single staff.
Not a single one. Everybody got paid full salaries throughout the period. Okay.
How did you? Okay.
So basically, it's from how we built the business coming up from the previous CEO and the management team. It's basically how we'd grown the business and what we started with. When we did the refill meal at 500 naira, it was coming from, how can I say, from a desperate place. Okay, where we just said, something, we've positioned the brand to a point that people feel it was an aspirational
Yeah, it was
brand.
bougie.
Exactly. And we thought, look, this meal can be afforded by everybody. Sometimes it's almost like one of those things where they say 100% of nothing is nothing. 1% of something,
Yeah.
is rather is,
Yeah.
is more important. So we decided that, look, something, it's best to drop our margins, okay, and get more customers eating
In fact, I'm going to go into that question, but
Yeah.
I was surprised when you said you didn't let go of any.
Yeah.
A lot of people were just cutting their losses quickly. People lost their jobs across the globe. So why did you do that? You didn't know when. You didn't know when the lockdown would end.
Yeah.
You didn't know what. So were you just going to? Why that decision, really?
I think that decision because we were in a growth phase.
Okay.
And because we're in a growth phase, we'd spent a lot of money training people, okay, and we had several shops already in build that came to a standstill, and you didn't want to lose that. You didn't want to have to go back and start all over again. So it's rather take the hit now, okay, and then be able to continue when whatever time we come out. Obviously, there's a time limit to it. If we thank God it didn't go on that long. But if COVID went on into 2021, 2022, then there's key decisions that you have to make as a business to survive. But, during that period alone, at least for the full year of 2020, it was, if anybody was let go, then it's either disciplinary hearing or they actually resigned by themselves, but not because of COVID.
So you were answering, back to your train of thought, you were answering that what differentiated you? You were saying the strategy, a lot of adversities, and you don't know what Nigeria may throw at you.
Yeah.
So how did you differentiate yourself? You're about to answer that.
So it was more of doing our best to adapt to any situation. Okay. So let me use this recent challenge of tomatoes and pepper being scarce in the market.
Yes.
So we've got a great supply chain team. They just flew to Jos, met with some farmers, okay, and basically, bought up a whole load of peppers and transported it down. But what you find is that all these challenges help you now start looking, strategizing forward. So it's almost like you've got to look for the positive in the chaos, okay, in the negativity of what has happened.
You've got to look for the positive in the chaos, in the negativity.
Right. So what then happened was that, okay, well, look, strategically for our size, we should have farmers that are only growing for us.
Yes.
Okay. And this brought up that opportunity. You understand? We had instances where, one of our kills was knocked down by Lagos State.
Yeah.
The claim was safety. Well, it's Lagos State, so we can't go against it. But once again, the opportunity presented itself that, okay, well, let's remodel this store. Let's put that Pie Express brand inside that store. It's off the car park. We've created more car park space for customers. So you try to look for the positivity and adapt quickly. What the team does and what we've learned to do over the years is don't dwell on the negative. It's happened. You cannot go back and change it. So what the question is, how do we move forward? I mean, that famous Nigerian phrase, we move. That is it. That's basically, whatever happens, we move. And we just keep on adapting. And that's basically what's helped us.
That's beautiful. Thank you. So, to the famous 500 naira meal.
Yes.
I know the story, but I want to hear. I think it was a strategic move. You just mentioned now, you said that you guys were running out of, is it business or cash or whatever?
So, no, look, it was a tough time for the business. We were going through a very rough patch. The Naira was depreciating, prices were going up, people's disposable income was tight. There were talks of us heading into a recession and so on. And business had to go. You've got, I think at that time, we had like about 1,000 employees, almost 1,000, just about 900 and something employees. And we had to make a decision, okay? And we just thought, look, we can either fold our arms and watch the business go down, or we make a plan. And luckily, and I wish I could take credit for it, but I can't. I've got to give credit to the former CEO that was there, the one I took over from. But he came into the office one day and said, look, why don't we do one piece of chicken and rice at 500 naira? And without even thinking and going to do the calculation whether it will be profitable or not, I just raised my hand and said, yes, let's do it. And there was a whole lot of back and forth with the team. No, why don't we do it 550? Or why don't we do 600? Look, we did 600 before, it no work. 500 naira is one note. That one is easy, transactional, no, let's just do it that way.
How many stores did you have at that time?
At that time, we had 46 shops.
Okay.
Okay. And so you can imagine, 2009, we had 46 shops.
We had 65.
Sorry, we had 65 shops. Now we come down to 2016 where we had 46.
Yeah.
So we closed down some shops. And those are the challenges that you face. And you've got to, like I said, you've got to keep moving.
Yeah.
Okay. And make sure that the shops that you have open are making up the revenues that the shops you've closed.
Yeah.
Okay. So, so we took,
you made the
as soon as we made that decision, it's like we made that decision in one day. Within 48 hours, we rolled it out. So what we did...
48 hours?
Yeah. So basically what we did was we categorized our shops. We had a funny way of doing it. We said, look, these shops are in ICU. They're in intensive care units. We need to take care of them. So we started with them. Okay. And it started growing. Then in February, we said, okay, well, look, this needs to be
This was
taken
October,
off.
right?
No, this was January 2016.
January 2016,
Yeah.
okay.
So in February, then we thought, wow, this seems to be working. We had people couldn't believe it. So people used to come to the shop to come and check to see if it was true. Okay. Even our competition couldn't believe it. I mean, we were expecting that our competition would follow suit very quickly, but it actually took 2 years for them to decide that, hold on, these guys have got something here, and decided to start. So we called it our everyday affordable value strategy. Okay, that every day there must be something affordable on the menu for our customers.
Everyday affordable value strategy.
Okay, so when we did that, and I remember the head of operations at the time, we were talking and said, oh boy, how is this thing gonna continue? Because now we practically doubled our monthly revenue.
Wow.
By the middle of the year. By getting to the end of the year, we're doing 3 times with the same number of shops.
Wow.
Okay, with our revenues. And we said, so what are we going to do next year? But we kept on going. Now, it's very strange in the West African market, especially, to have the same price point for 6 months. How much more? 4 years running. But we were able to sustain that price point for 4 years.
4 years.
So it's COVID, unfortunately, that happened. That drove prices across the market. China became very expensive to import things from China because containers were not going back. So people were now having to buy new containers all the time. So that increased the cost of the materials that were coming in. Chicken and so on, the feed was going up. And then unfortunately the Russian-Ukraine war started, and then maize and soya became expensive, which are the key components for the feed for chickens and so on. So poultry farmers started struggling, and then you had chicken going from when it used to be like 900 a kilo, then it became 2,000 a kilo. You understand? Even into 2024, where it was sitting around above 4,500 a kilo or whatever. So, and we don't use 1 kilo bird. It's a bigger size bird. So all these things were the challenges that we just had to adapt to.
And that was what brought about the 500.
That's what brought about the 500 naira meal. Yeah.
Amazing. So, what's the maintenance culture in Chicken Republic? So I saw that you did like some rebranding, right? And I think it was brilliant because the walls were tiles.
Yeah.
Instead of having to paint often, right? Whose idea was that? The person needs a raise, right? Then
thank you. I'll take one.
Okay.
So, did you hear that? I need a raise.
Okay, what's your idea? Amazing.
No, it was a team.
Yeah, definitely.
It was definitely a team.
It was a team's idea.
I think one beautiful thing about Food Concepts is that we all sit down, we strategize. There's we're all on a first name basis.
Yeah.
Nobody comes in and calls me Mr. Kofi. It's Kofi.
Yeah.
You understand? I mean, we leave that flexibility so people can talk and you can be approachable.
Yeah.
You understand? So
I've been to your office.
Yeah.
Is professional, if there's a word for it, professional, communal professional. Is there a word like that? I wanted to coin like a word. It's professional, it's communal, it's professional. I'm like, how do you balance? But hey, that's a conversation.
So look, we realize the harshness of the market. We realize that it kind of costs a lot. So you basically have to weigh up your investment. We do an investment analysis for everything, even if it's not going to generate cash. We just weigh up the cost of investing in it. If I'm going to bring in a consultant in for training, I've got to have a clear objective of what I want out of it. Okay, and that is the return. Okay, that I'm going to have well-trained staff who are going to be efficient at their job, who are going to be able to deliver productivity, etc., etc. And so that's why I'm doing this training. So our maintenance basically became, we said, look, tiles are easier to maintain. They're more expensive to build with, okay, than painting. But long term, it was easier to maintain. So instead, you look at the cost of painting your shops twice a year,
Yeah.
and you look at the initial cost of the initial paint that you use, and put it together. So, let's just go tiles. You understand? And then we got to the point where we started doing lifestyle murals, okay, on the walls as well, which also helped,
Ambience.
keep the longevity and the ambience of the store and so on. But yeah, it's but we use tiles in all our kitchens. Hygienic, it's easier to clean, it's easier to maintain, and so on. Yeah.
So I want to ask a more personal question.
Okay.
As the MD CEO of Chicken Republic, run me through your day. Like, yes, yes, I went there.
No, good.
I went there. Run me through your day, cause I don't know how you're thinking, and I have an interesting mind. Like, you have 304 shops. I have a lot of questions after that, but I want to know. First, run me through your day, then we'll pick it apart.
I have, no, let me rephrase that. We have 304 shops with an expertise management team. Okay, so there's one thing a mentor of mine always said. He says, always hire people better than you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not a finance person, so I leave finance to get on with what they have to get on with. I'm not an HR person, so I leave HR to get on with what they need to get on with. I understand a bit about supply chain,
Yeah.
but I'm not always up with the modern trends.
Yeah.
So the supply chain director, I leave him to get on with it. You understand? Well, my job is to coordinate all, and you set the vision, set where you want to get to, and basically support the team. So for me, as far as I'm concerned, my job is to support the rest of the team in being able to do their job. My job is not to come there and say, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And it's very tempting to micromanage, okay? Especially when you want things to be perfect, okay? But also another thing a mentor told me was that you can't wait for it to be perfect on paper before you do, because otherwise you'll continue to be analyzing, and you get into that state of analysis paralysis. Okay, so yeah, we've got a great team that supports. I mean, for me, I'm an early riser. I'm also up like 4 o'clock in the morning. Don't ask me why. There's an internal alarm clock that just will not allow me to sleep.
And you sleep what time the previous day?
Let's not get into that. Every time I say this, people start telling me about health issues. Oh, that's not healthy, and say, yeah, don't worry. Okay, I understand it's not healthy. I've seen all the posts. I've seen all the. Yes, it is not healthy, but I sleep late and I wake up very early. And then
4 a.m. you're up.
Yeah, 4 a.m. up. Okay, and then basically it's to depending on the individual, do your prayers. Try and see if you can get a little bit of a workout in. I like to be at the office early, so normally by 7:30 a.m. I'm in the office. Okay, it gives me time before everybody comes in, and then I get the knocking on the door and everything to just settle down, go through some emails, do some approvals, etc., etc. But all of that goes on and takes place. And then you get into the rest of the day of your meetings and so on. So I've got a few vendors and consultants who know that the best time to get me is 7 a.m. So my phone starts ringing from 7 a.m.
That means you don't get that time that you said.
Well, it does, but if I'm going through emails, I'm talking to cause it's multitasking.
So you just keep going.
No, you have to rest. Yeah, you're not a machine. Yeah, you have to rest. Okay. You understand? There's time that you time out. I'd either go out with friends. My family lives in Ghana, so I may take the opportunity to go there at least once a month to go and visit them, spend some days with them and everything. That's the time you try to act. Yes, you move your meetings to online, okay, but then you get to see the kids, you get to see the full family and everything, your wife and everybody, and spend some time with them.
If a person wants to be successful, is there anything like work-life balance?
Oh yes, there is.
Like, I mean, you want to be uber successful?
Yes, there is. I believe there is. I believe, the time you take out to relax is the time you do the best thinking. Okay? So if I'm going for a walk, I'm thinking about the business, but there's lots of ideas that when you're in the grind of the business, you're not getting that chance to think. Do you get what I'm saying? All right? If I go to the UK, I spend a lot of my time looking at other QSRs and everything, but it's a relaxing moment for me. It depends on what you want, but when you're first starting a business, it's hard to find work-life balance because one, you don't have the full team to support you. You are the accountant, you're the HR person, you're the maintenance person, you're the manager, you're the marketing person, etc. So yes, it's very hard. But once you've got your business to a certain level and you've brought people in, like we've got in right now, no, you have to. You have to find a balance. Even Tony Lumen who finds a balance. How much? And he's got a whole group he's been super successful and got a whole. So you have to get to that stage where, whether you like it or not, you have to trust the people you've hired to do the job. They might not do it the way you exactly want it. They might actually do it even better than you want it. Okay, but you've got to trust the process and you've got to trust the team as well.
Since 2019, or was it 18? 16, sorry. Have you shut down any shops?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But are there shops you were about to shut down and something changed?
Yes. There's shops that we're about to shut down. What we've learned over the years is to put in almost like a checklist. Okay? So before you shut this shop down, you've got to check, is it the location? Okay, well, it can't be the location. We should have chosen the right location to start with. Has there something changed in the demographics, in the trend, in the market, in that area? Has it become more commercial? Has it become more residential? So therefore, you don't have the right mix of residential and commercial activities going on. So therefore, the business is suffering. Has the road network changed? Has the government decided to put a medium in between? So now, customers have to drive 2 kilometers down the road to go and turn around and come to your shop. And they might love your chicken, but they're not going to go through that traffic just because of your chicken. Okay, so there's different things that you have to check. Then is it the management of the store? Okay, is it too much for that manager that is there? Did we train them properly? Let's put another manager there. And you'll find that sometimes when you've changed the manager, things start turning around. Okay. When you've checked out all those other macro issues, outside influences, then you go internal. We've had this shop. There's one guy I always use as an example. His name is Hakim. He's now our franchise operations manager. And I remember, by luck, he was going to study in Ilorin. And we had a shop in Ilorin that was doing very poorly. In fact, we were in the base of shutting it down. And he basically said, "Sir, leave it with me." Okay, this is a restaurant manager. Okay, managing a branch manager. I said, okay, go ahead. And basically, by the time he finished, over the 2, 3, 4 years, the shop was now doing 20, 30 times the revenue it was doing before he got there.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
So leadership, everything rises and falls on leadership. That is brilliant. So and the person started as a restaurant manager.
person started a restaurant manager, became an area manager. Now he's using his expertise to help franchisees. So now he's responsible for managing all our franchise operations.
That's growth. That's good. Many organizations want to pick people from outside to come and fill in the seats. So how do you handle so this is the question. There are some times that people just get stuck. Like you can't help them. I know sometimes some people just let them go, some people train. So do you have more people? I know it sounds like an easy question, like I'm laying up for you. Do you watch basketball?
Yes,
Okay, this is like a layup.
for a dunk. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have more people growing within the organization? Because based on this story that you just said, or you have to get a lot of people from
Oh
outside?
yeah, we've got a lot of people growing in within the organization. We've got as one lady, another lady who we're very proud of, started off back in the day as an assistant manager
Yeah.
in a branch. She's now the head of operations for one of our brands.
Wow.
You understand? We've got people that started as a cashier. They become area managers, responsible for 7 shops.
Is there a specific set of training, like a
Oh,
course within?
So there's an internal course.
Okay.
There's something that we should do a lot better is a lot more development training. Okay. Like you said, I mean, you go to bring people from outside because you do need that expertise.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've been lucky that our former executive director of operations was an old KFC guy.
Yeah.
I'm an old McDonald's guy.
Yeah.
Our former
I see.
and the former CEO was an old Nando's and KFC guy. So we've brought all those knowledge over the years, and all of us, if you put us all together, we most probably, if you put all the years of experience, you must have like 120 years of experience sitting in that business. The question is that how do we, KFC runs different from McDonald's, from other brands.
Yes.
Okay, so how does Chicken Republic as a brand, okay, coordinate that and take the best out of that and make it their own? Then 2, nobody knows Nigeria like Nigerians. Okay, so either if you're an expatriate, then you've lived in the country a long time and know how it rolls. What we find is that people that come into the market from outside that have never experienced Nigeria, it takes a long time for them to get to grips with how the market operates. Because it's not just about cooking the meal.
Yeah.
It's about how you deal with local governments. It's about how you deal with staff. It's about the culture. It's, the customer. We don't like to queue.
Yeah.
Okay, so whether you like it or not, I think it's only in Nigeria we don't like to queue. When I've seen us queue outside, but when we're in Nigeria, we don't queue. Okay. So it's about understanding that and not getting offended by it, but understand that look, it's just part of the culture. It's something that you have to educate and manage and put some controls in place to make it. Even for your cashiers, okay, it's teaching them that. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I think this gentleman came before you. Would you mind? Sorry, I'll be with you in just 1 minute, and then move on. Training them to do those kind of things, and yes, sometimes you get it right, and sometimes you get it wrong. But the point is that to keep on moving, we move.
So, as I love the structure that the team has built, and good. But are there times when you just want to throw in the towel, like maybe tough challenges? Every CEO has that time. I'm sure one viewer is like, okay, it's been perfect all along, but other times you just want to, man, heck it, and just like throw in the towel.
Not for me. Okay, it hasn't been perfect all along.
Yeah.
There's times when it's stressful, depressing. You're exhausted. You just realize, okay, look, let it fall. Okay, I'll pick it back up later. You understand? But I think when you're passionate about something, you never give up on it. Okay, when you can, and you'll see a lot of. I think the encouragement we get from a lot of our customers, from a lot of outsiders that say, "Hey, look, you guys have got a great brand. We love what you're doing. Keep it up." We said, "Okay, well, maybe it's not that bad." I'll go to social media can be quite punishing.
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll find on social media, it's like, their food is this and their food is that and whatever. And then you go out somewhere and say, oh, I really love your this and I really love. So, oh, really? Okay, well, maybe it's not that bad. Okay, so okay, all right. Maybe it was where the person went to eat that time. Maybe. I always tease the staff. Okay, one of the ladies cooking, I said, "Why is your food tasting like this? Did your boyfriend leave you last night or something?" You understand? Okay. Yeah. And we had a great lady. We affectionately call her Auntie Ama. Okay, she's the one who created our Amajama sauce. Okay, she's a Ghanaian lady and everything. She was working with us, managing our central kitchen at the time. And whenever she's training people on food, she said, "Look, if you're unhappy, the food will be unhappy.
Yeah.
If you're happy, okay, the food too will be happy. You don't have to do much for the food. So if you've got a miserable person cooking, your food is going to taste miserable. Yeah. Okay, so when you hear us chant nice, nice and everything inside the shop, it's to motivate us. It's to ginger us up and keep the happiness.
How you have the Nigerian lingua to ginger to
17 years. You had to rub off for me
it's
somehow.
It's not beans at all. Then you mentioned nice. 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 What is nice? Nice. In fact, I saw it on your 20 years
of nice.
Of nice. What is nice? Why nice? Why couldn't be good food or I don't know any other name?
I guess nice came from a product that we were launching, a menu item that we were launching, and we started as an advert saying nice this and nice that, and to be honest, it wasn't anything intentional. That's the beauty of it. The staff just took it on by themselves, and it just became nice for every. And so you'll find that the staff at the front of house to catch the attention of the. They say, nice, and after nice, one chickweed, please. So that becomes like, instead of saying, Olumide, okay, yes.
So it just took on a life of its own.
It just took on a life of its own, and it became throughout our franchisees, throughout the head office. When people come into the head office and say, nice, and it just took on a whole life on its own, and it's just become part of our culture, and we love it.
That's amazing. So, I'll ask for the future of food concepts, but where do you see yourself in next 10 years, 20 years?
Me personally?
Yes.
Retired with my grandchildren. Where do you want me to see myself? Not still frying chicken. No. Okay. I'll be
in 30 years.
Yeah, at my age, in 10 years, I'm hoping to be happily retired.
Retired. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So then where do you see Chicken Republic or all your brands, food concepts, in the next 2 years, 3 years?
Look, I think the brand, the business, the people have so much potential. Like you said, I see us entering other markets. Okay, I keep on telling people we need to ride this wave of Nigeria in the diaspora.
Yeah.
Okay, in terms of how our music has gotten out there, the things that our musicians have done to get Nigeria on the map in the UK, in the US, in Germany, everywhere. You have your musicians go and they fill out the whole stadium.
Yeah.
Okay, they can fill out the whole of Wembley Stadium with for a concert, and we need to ride that wave with our cuisine as well. There's a lot of Nigerian cuisine restaurants there, but in terms of for a QSR, I don't think there's a QSR chain for Nigeria, and I want Chicken Republic to be that chain that goes to the UK, that goes to the US, that goes to Canada, that goes to all these markets and grow. And then also in Africa as well. And so much potential, South Africa, Kenya. We're always getting international brands coming to us. It's time for us to go to them.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I saw that you said some signed contracts in Canada and potential franchises in UK, US.
Yes.
When is the possible move? When do we start seeing your brands actually?
Well, I'm hoping that by 2025 you'll start seeing our brands
next year
in Canada. Yes, I think when you're going into a new market, there's a lot of homework that you have to do to make sure that you're going in there with the right strategy, and that you're introducing your menu.
Yeah.
but you've also got to try and adapt yourself with some other menu products
Yeah.
to make sure that you're catering for the masses, so to speak. So yeah, we're hoping that next year we should be opening our first shop in Canada.
Wow. I would love to be there. So I'll be in your bag,
Yeah.
your travel bag, one of your bags.
Yeah, wait for my visa now. So.
Mr. Kofi here
Oh God.
is smack in the middle of it, and I don't envy him right now. Nigeria jollof versus Ghana jollof.
Nigeria jollof versus Ghana jollof. It depends on which country I'm in at the time. When I'm in Nigeria, it's Nigeria. When I'm in Ghana, it's Ghana.
Do you have any political aspirations? Because you sure will do so well.
None at all.
None at all.
None at all.
Okay, so which one did you enjoy the last time? Which jollof did you enjoy last?
You know, I like Nigeria's smoky jollof. To be honest with you, I really enjoy that.
Nigeria smoky jollof.
The smoky
Okay.
jollof. It's like bottom pot.
Yeah.
So it reminds you of back in the day when your mother cooks, and you want everybody to take the top of the rice,
Yeah,
so that you can get to the bottom.
Hiya.
In Ghana, they call it kanzu.
Kanzu.
Kanzu. So that's everybody wants everyone to be served, so that
You can go and
you can
scrape.
get to the bottom, that crunchy piece.
Yeah. Oh my.
Yeah.
So Ghanaians, you heard it here. Nigeria smoky. Okay, I'm not starting anything. I'm not starting
You want them
anything.
to sack me from my country.
I did it intentionally.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. We end with two things. We usually look into the eyes of those who have helped us, maybe in the form of that camera, and just say thank you to a couple of people that come to mind. You know, when you look at your journey, you see that you said God and luck. And one more thing, relationships, really, right? I took that God and luck because most people think it's just, there's some things that is just luck, time and chance, just happens. But to the third thing, which is relationships, there'll be people that will come to mind. So without making it all kumbaya, I'm already getting emotional thinking about my own journey. But your journey, who are the people you would like to say thank you to? And just look into the camera and just say, hey.
Hi. Look, I mean, first and foremost, you have to be in the right frame of mind to be able to do certain things. So for me, my parents, my wife, my family are first and foremost, always, for allowing me and for sacrificing the time that normally I'll spend with them to be able to go out and grow this business the way it is. So those are my first people I want to say thank you to. Then, also to our shareholders as well, for trust, the patience that they have. To grow a business over 20 years, it requires a lot of patience because there's been a lot of turbulence inside the businesses, inside the country. So, you thank the shareholders for the patience and then the guidance. But I think most importantly is the management team. You've got people that have been with we recently celebrated some staff that have been with us for 20 years.
Wow.
Okay, so for sticking by us, for all the sacrifices they had to endure, from the days when you work late night. The management team, there was one time where we were doing a budgeting session and we were still in the office at 1 a.m.
Wow.
Okay, so, those are all the sacrifices that people put through to make sure that the business is a success and that we can all get rewarded for it. So, yeah, I mean, I think when there was never any just one person, okay, but I think it's your family and your work colleagues that make it happen. So, yeah.
Amazing. So, thank you, Mrs. Abunu. Thank you.
Both of them.
Both of them, yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. and Miss. I was going to say Mr. and Mrs. Abunu.
Well,
Then
you got Mrs. Abunu, my mother,
Yeah,
and
then
then
Mrs.
Mrs. Abunu,
Abunu,
my
your
wife.
wife. Yeah. So I was going to say thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Abunu, for all your support. Then the second thing we do is to look into the camera and speak to the young Kofi Abunu.
Oh, good.
Yes. So, what you would have told yourself, if you can look at your younger self.
Find another industry. I'm joking.
I heard that. Oh my God.
I'm playing. I'm playing. I'm playing.
Find another industry. Okay, so you're looking at your younger self, and just advising. I'm sorry. So let me ask this question: if you could do it all over again, will you still be in the food industry?
I actually would. I actually would. If I could do it all over again, I think, I'd say take more calculated risks.
Okay.
I think my younger self, I used to be, you get caught up in yourself. Oh, what happens if it goes wrong? What happens if it doesn't work? I mean, you almost got to do like a Nike advert. Just do it.
Just
you
do
understand? Okay. If you fall, get up and just do it again.
Yeah.
Okay. Because, you're never going to know until you try. So for me, I think there's a lot more places I could have been if I just done it. Okay, I love where I am. I love the experiences, and they always say God's time is the best. When I look at some of the things I go through now, I realize that some of the experiences that I had in the past had prepared me for today.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's the joy of it. So taking the attitude of just moving forward, finding the positivity in any negative aspects. Diesel's gone up to a ridiculous amount. The naira's depreciated. Okay, what do we do from here? Okay, I think that has helped me from my past to understand that, look, something is always going to try and get in your way.
Yeah.
All right. They always say that when you're riding high, that's when the devil will send so many things to try and get in your way and make you fall. You just it's what's that song? Ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no river deep enough.
Deep enough.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. If you have to swim, swim. You have to climb. You have to break through. Do something.
Yeah.
But just get it done. As long as it's legal. Legally break through. Yes.
Yeah, legally. Please, by all means, legally. So now that's your younger self. So I'm sure it will almost be the same thing. So that young African entrepreneur in Somalia watching this, in Ghana, in South Africa, who says, I really want to be like Kofi Abunu. I want to be successful. What are the key points you're going to, tell them? Just in 1 minute, like these are points that maybe guide your life, and something that they can hold the principles, right? You've shared a lot of your stories. Some people will want to take the story and do it exactly like you did. So what is more important is the principle. Like you can apply the principle, the formula in any way. It's dynamic, right? So what are those principles you give the young Africans?
Well, dear young Africans, in this day and age, it's so easy to want to do so many things. You see so many opportunities out there, and you think, I can do this, I can do that. We cannot underestimate focus. Okay, focusing on a specific thing, getting it to a point that it is practically almost running on its own before moving on to the next. Over the years, what we've realized is that you cannot be everything to everybody, and you cannot be get into this business and that business. So it's very key to focus. 2, you can't do it on your own. You need people. Okay, find a mentor, find somebody who's been in that industry that you're getting into before, and make sure that you're seeking guidance. Basically, for lack of an excuse my phrase, be a pain in the butt to that individual. Okay, so that you're always learning. Okay, and then 3, spend some time with yourself. Okay, in terms of take a break, because it's during those moments that some of the greatest ideas are going to come to you. All right, so take that break. Make sure you make, if not a mental note of it. If you're like me, I can't make mental notes. I have to write it down immediately. Or thank God for technology, I have to record a voice note so that I don't forget it. Okay, but try and do those things. It's important that you take a break and you look back and make sure that you understand where you are. But most importantly, focus. Good luck.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kofi Abunu. It's been interesting, right? It's been interesting. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for sharing. I'm sure this is going to be part one. There has to be like a follow up. I think there has to be a follow up, a part two. I hope that when we call you, you will oblige us again.
As long as you give me tea and coffee. You thought I was going to let that one go, eh? Okay. I know you edit it out.
We'll cut it off. So, with that, we've come to the end of this episode. I think it was a lot of gems have been dropped. I think you should watch it over and over again so that the principles, you absorb it and you're able to apply it. Many times when life is lifing, right? Like some Nigerian lingua, I just go to some videos to just motivate me. And I think this is one of those videos because nobody really had it easy. When you see anybody successful, you should off their hats to don't just explain it away as luck or something or one leverage. If it's easy, everybody for the run arm, So I think with that, we've come to the end of this. Watch the summaries. Watch this over and over again until the principles become a part of you. Until we see next time. Before you go, please like, please comment, please share, and subscribe. Turn on the notification button so that you'll be the first person to see our videos. Thank you very much. Till next time. Bye.